I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Now, let's be honest for a second. We have all felt the universal pain of an exhausting late-night study session, right? We have all been there, staring at a textbook until your eyes literally blur, drinking endless cups of coffee, and feeling like absolutely nothing is staying in your brain. It is so frustrating, but today, in this explainer, we are going to change all of that. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the true neuroscience of learning together.
Here is our comforting roadmap for today so you know exactly what to expect. First, we will explore the neuroscience of better learning, go inside the human brain, and practice active recall. Then, we will look at how to focus with the Pomodoro technique, explore the mind-body connection, and finally, we will wrap up with a dedicated essential vocabulary review for all our language learners out there.
Section 1. Neuroscience of Better Learning. Quality over quantity. Okay, let's dive into this. You see, modern educational psychology proves that true learning is actually an active biological process. It's not just about putting in long, agonizing hours at your desk.
Section 2. Inside the human brain. The physiology of memory.
Learning is a physical event happening right inside your head through microscopic cells called neurons. When we encounter new information, these neurons physically communicate with each other, creating connections called synapses. This brings us to a beautiful concept, neuroplasticity. This is the biological ability of the brain to change, adapt, and physically grow by creating those synapses. When you review material correctly, you are actually strengthening these neural pathways. You are literally paving a solid road in your mind, beautifully turning those fragile, short-term memories into strong, permanent ones.
But here is the real danger of cramming. Overwhelming your brain causes a massive spike in a stress hormone called cortisol. And high cortisol creates a super frustrating mental block right during your exam. You suddenly can't remember a thing. You absolutely must study in a way that respects your biology so that all your hard work does not go to waste.
Section 3. Active Recall Cognitive Habits, Strengthening Neural Connections.
You see, you cannot just passively sit there and read a textbook over and over again. Passive reading actually tricks your brain into thinking it knows the material. Active recall forces your brain to work hard and physically retrieve the information. A brilliant way to practice this is the Feynman technique. This is a famous method where you take a complex topic and try to explain it in very simple terms. Just imagine you were teaching the concept to a small child. If you can explain it that simply, you truly understand it. If you stumble, you know exactly where your knowledge is weak. But of course, doing this requires deep concentration, and our modern digital distractions make this kind of focus incredibly difficult.
Section 4. Focus with Pomodoro Technique. Beating distractions. We are constantly surrounded by digital distractions, so we really need a reliable strategy to sharpen one's focus.
The Pomodoro technique is beautifully simple and incredibly effective as a strategy to increase your focus. Step 1. You study with intense, unbroken focus for exactly 25 minutes. No phones, no checking emails. Step 2. You take a 5-minute break. I must heavily emphasize the biological importance of this short break to maintain your mental efficiency. You have to step away from the desk, stretch, or drink some water. These short breaks are mandatory. Giving your brain a moment to rest is exactly how you avoid burnout. If you skip the breaks, your mind will simply become exhausted.
Now, putting away your phone might feel very, very difficult at first, but consistency is the key here. If you stick with this 25-minute cycle, you will eventually get the hang of it. It just takes a little practice. And once you do, your learning speed and your retention will increase naturally.
Section 5. The Mind-Body Connection. Practical Solutions for Neurological Efficiency. Let's move to and see how this builds, because our physical health strictly dictates how effectively the brain processes all this new information.
The single most crucial physiological factor is sleep. Deep sleep triggers a fascinating process called memory consolidation. While you sleep, your brain replays, cleans, and permanently stores what you learned. Without sleep, those synapses we discussed simply cannot strengthen. Furthermore, physical exercise is absolute magic for studying. Exercise boosts blood flow to the hippocampus, which is the memory center of the brain. Movement literally stimulates the growth of new brain cells. Combining active learning with proper rest and exercise is truly the only way to protect your mental health and achieve excellent academic results without burning out.
Section 6. Essential Vocabulary Review. Mastering the concepts. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it brings everything together for our language learners. We have covered a lot of incredible science today, but we also used some wonderful English phrases. Let us do a capstone review so you can master them.
I am going to read these very slowly and clearly for you. First, to go to waste. This means something is spent carelessly without resulting in any benefit. You certainly do not want your study time to go to waste. Second, mental block. A sudden psychological inability to think clearly or remember something, often caused by stress. Third, to avoid burnout. This means to prevent total emotional and mental exhaustion from excessive stress or overworking. Fourth, to get the hang of it. This means to finally become skilled at a new habit after practicing it. And fifth, to sharpen one's focus. This means to significantly improve your attention, concentration, and clarity on a specific task.
And that beautifully wraps up our explainer today. I want to leave you with this final, incredibly important question to think about. Knowing everything you know now about the human brain, neuroplasticity, and the Pomodoro technique, will you change your study habits tonight, or will your next learning session go to waste? The power to study smarter is entirely in your hands and, of course, in your brain. Thank you so much for learning with me today. Stay curious, stay focused, and I will see you next time.